This video is brought to you by Squarespace. Alien gripped the world with all new sorts of sci-fi terror, and it spawned countless sequels and, more importantly, immersive horror attractions. And now that Disney currently owns this property, I'm excited to see some theme park lore come full circle. So hug someone's face. This is the evolution of the Xenomorph in theme parks and then beyond. Theme parks and beyond. Space. This is the greatest thing I think I have ever owned. Should I wear it the whole video? I might. Okay. Does it? Which part of my big giant alien mouth should this go on now? Created by the artist H.R. Giger and performed in the original 1979 film by Nigerian actor Bolaji Badejo, the original alien, aka Big Chap, was a slick, gooey costume covered with putty, tubes, and plastic ribbing. Giger himself detailed it with lots of real animal bones like snake vertebrae and cow spines. Bone suits, baby. You know, bones in a suit. That's what we all are. We're all just bone suits. He documented the whole process in this real spooky behind the scenes like documentary that he narrates in like a whisper.
These are a few variations of the alien figure I had in mind. They all emerged out of my personal visual world, which I call biomechanical.
The center of the Xenomorph's huge head is fitted on the top of the actor, right? So it makes it almost impossible to see in. Badejo basically was blind when he was wearing this costume. He had to stare down at the floor to give the silhouette of the head that like iconic look on camera. You know, so like the weird way that the mask was proportioned on him made it super tricky to perform it. The fit of all of this like made it almost impossible for the actor inside of it to even sit down. Okay, this is where it gets fun, because when Micheal Eisner stepped into the Disney scene in 1984, I feel like the one thing he is most infamously remembered for was desperately trying to impress his teenage son by remodeling the Disney parks into something edgy and cool that hip teens would like. And one of the things that he did first was like this hyper fixation on the Alien franchise. We were like this close, baby, this close to getting an Alien Xenomorph laser tag ride as part of Disneyland's Tomorrowland 2055 renovation. Think like Buzz Lightyear blasters or like Men in Black blasters, but with acid blood and face huggers. But after a lot of delays and reworks, they kept the dystopian idea, but they made the ride about a weird centipede thing. This is the most confusing part about Disney history, if you ask me. Like we could have this peak millennial moment, Yellow Shoes, where we like just reopen the ride, but just put a Xenomorph in it. You know, I think that we would show up. People would show up. So Micheal didn't get his Alien Blaster ride, but in 1989, the great movie ride at the newly opened MGM Studios gave us our theme park debut of the Alien franchise. You'll remember this part, right? It's seared into my brain because as I was a kid, this was the most terrifying thing that happened to me on my Disney World vacation. You bizarrely either had a cowboy or a gangster with you, and now you're boarding the claustrophobic, scary Nostromos, and you don't know where your original tour guide went. And there they are, those iconic white spacesuits. I love them, but when I saw them, I knew I was about to get spooked. Smoke blasting everywhere. Ripley's there giving her best side eye. When the lights begin to flash and alarms sound, and what's that from the ceiling? Oh no! An alien! And from the wall, an alien! They're everywhere! This is such an amazing moment in theme park history. I feel like one I will truly never forget. I did a real bang-up job of creating those Xenomorphs on the ride, even with like the clear plastic domes with like the questionable human skull element on it. Like, bing, bang, boom, baby, this is a knockout ride. And what's even more amazing is that apparently at some point, the animatronic Big Chap, I believe the one from the wall, ended up in a museum. You could go visit it at a museum. Like, you know, that's legendary. Can we get more of that, please? Let me know in the comments if you got to see Big Chap. As the Aliens, aka Alien 2 movie took off in 1986, the world was reinvigorated with Xeno fever. Not that kind of Xeno fever, Xenomorph fever. Sorry, let me clarify. And two entrepreneurs in London had a next level idea to create a total reality horror experience that they'd call Alien War. Tour groups were pushed through like super tight corridors by Marines as they tried to escape aliens in a terraforming installation. The event was staffed with these army guys that had specialized special effects guns that used high-tech audio systems to make it look like they were actually, shooting like in the movie, but apparently it never worked. So there's lots of pistol work, like shooting, like blank pistols. Actually, I'll put on the scarier Xenomorph mask now for this one. Did I just leave a mask off for a section? This is not how slim I am in real life. I'm really sucking it in. Xeno sucking it in.
Come here.
Scott, it's incredibly real, isn't it?
Yes, this is total reality.
Well, as well as all the drama, the adventure, aliens lurking around in every corner.
You would get pushed through this terraforming colony, corridor by corridor, as the Marines that you were with had to face off against Xenomorph attacks. It got so intense that at one point, there's even like a fake out tourist plant in your group that gets like sucked up into an elevator vent by a Xenomorph. So like the immersion is peak, the quality was intense, people loved this thing, and it did very well for many years. Now, like I said, Xenomorph costumes are pretty tricky to work with, but somehow these group of guys made it happen. The Xenomorph costumes were hyper-modified from the original movie design, being nothing more than flimsy rubber suits and giant helmets, but this was necessary to simplify the original large props into something that allows teenagers to wear for minimum wage to scare tourists. The end result is really impressive. The aliens look great on camera, and I'm sure it sold well thanks to all those dimly lit corridors and the industrial space that they built. Sigourney Weaver was there for the opening of this thing, baby. She had like a blaster gun. She was like, psh. You can't beat that. If Sigourney Weaver shows up to the intro of your Alien Horror House event, you know things are going good for you. Unfortunately, the place flooded, and they had to close up shop and destroyed everything. But hey, this isn't the last Xenomorph horror house. All right, I'm gonna put on the really scary Xenomorph mask for the next part. Ugh. You know, like how the inside of Halloween masks smell. It's just such an iconic stink. It's such a one-of-a-kind stench that you just can't get anywhere else but here. This one's got a dangle. No, I feel like I've just become an echo chamber. Gonna be honest, guys, doing evolutions in full costume is kind of hilarious, and I think I'm gonna do it more. Now here's a deep cut for all you Alien fans, because I had never even heard of this next attraction. But to capitalize on the novelty of 4D movie theater systems that started popping up everywhere in the 90s, a special Alien attraction was commissioned by the San Francisco Pier 39 Turbo Simulator. Alien, Speed of Fright, help save a group of stranded Marines deep in a terraforming colony. Look, you're gonna see a lot of terraforming colonies, all right? Like, everyone who designs an Alien attraction really leans hard into James Cameron's terraforming colony, like bits. And you get a lot of that. Terraforming colonies and Marines. It just works with the aliens. So thanks, James Cameron. This is an original story shot by iWork Studios with Star Trek actor Jeffrey Combs. Everyone, Combs? Listen, I'm not a Star Trek guy, and this is an Aliens video, so don't come at me if I don't know your Star Trek actors. It uses a mix. Hey, it's the fandom. You don't want to cross it. The ride uses a mix of original film special effects sequences from the Aliens movie and new footage on movie set recreations. A pre-show finds a survivor Marine that tells the story of their ship crashing after fighting some aliens, and we need to go save the crew because that's what No Man Left Behind, And so we all get in one of those little marine cars, and you sit in your motion simulator seat, and anything I see about this, everyone's holding a gun. So I think that you blast everybody. And then you drive around looking in the dark. It's scary stuff, you know, if you're into Xeno terror. And eventually you come upon a queen Xenomorph that looks suspiciously like a hand puppet, like a silly little hand puppet, but blast her. Pew, 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 pew. Pew, pew, pew. You blast her. I don't know. There's no actual footage of like inside the ride space. It's all just footage of the ride itself. The whole experience was about 20 minutes in length and was popular enough to even make its way over to the now defunct United Kingdom theme park, American Adventure, which is a wild looking place. United Kingdom. I don't know what is going on there, but wow, RIP American Adventure. I love this thing for what it is, you know, and thanks to the 6-disc of the Aliens Anthology Blu-ray set that came out, because apparently on the 6th disc had like a clean copy of this, and now all Alien fandom can celebrate and enjoy another weird bit of theme park lore. RIP DVD extras. In the wake of the canonical chaos that is Aliens vs. Predator, the film, the creative team at Universal was incredibly inspired to bring this sort of story into their 2014 Halloween Horror Nights. I love it, honestly. It's one of my favorite houses they've ever done. A huge alien crashes into a small town filled with predators on the hunt for their number one prey, Xenomorphs. The next sequence is a little gruesome, so Kenny, blur aggressively. In fact, just blur the whole screen by and large. The aliens are all over this house in what appeared to be these very controlled prop puppet costumes, and allowed the performers to move a lot easier, essentially only having to wear the head, chest, and gloves of the Xenomorph to kind of give them the spooky edge in special little pop-out locations that give them their jump scare powers. There are several forms of the Xenomorph in the attraction, including a lot of static figures, and all in all, this house was incredibly popular, and in my opinion, was super well done. I think we need to bring it back, you know, if you ask me. And it's so funny to me that Xenomorphs are like this weird Marvel thing, that they're like in both theme parks. They're both in Universal parks and Disney parks. Now I've got to talk about this next version of the Alien Xenomorph because it might honestly be the coolest. In 2019, a high school in North Bergen, New Jersey adapted a stage play version of the classic sci-fi horror film, and wow, using nothing but their high school teenage manpower and scavenged materials, they produced replicas of everything in the film, from the Nostromo to spacesuits to even the Xenomorph. It's absolutely stunning considering what and where this is. It really shows the absolute power of lighting and sound and set design that can bring to something to heighten the experience and make it so terrifying. They built the costume surprisingly similar to how the original one was made. Just a black jumpsuit with layers upon layers of tubing, fake bones, wires, pipes. The show was so popular and got so much attention that the school was paid to remount the show so Sigourney Weaver herself could come and hang out with the kids and see it. Can you even imagine being those kids and Sigourney Weaver shows up? Can you even believe how amazing all this stuff looks? I'm just blown away by it. Now this is where things get tragic and corporate, you know, like the real life Weyland-Yutani, sucking dry all of its people of their creativity and humanity. But when Disney snatched up Fox with the merger deal of the century, some very active plans for some standalone Alien theme park attractions were completely halted. And when I say active plans, like I mean like some of these rides were fully built and themed and painted and then had to be completely scrapped. The first was the 20th Century Fox Land in Malaysia, now called Genting Sky World. This land looked really cool. They had an entire terraforming colony with special effects filling the land, all designed with the Weyland-Yutani logos. This place gets a lot of fog and looks very spooky, like in all the fog cover. It's very alien. It was all amazing looking, even like a special effects roller coaster. gone. It's all gone now. It's themed something completely different. And as that was being built, plans for a second 20th Century Fox land in Dubai were being concocted by some very talented artists that made like this very cool alien blaster ride, kind of bringing it back to its original roots, all of which was completely trashed after Disney took over the rights. So RIP these incredible designs, these incredible works, a Weyland-Yutani drop tower, an Aliens indoor roller coaster, hopefully coming soon to another Disney park. What is there to say about this next thing except absolute masterpiece? For the recent debut of the Alien Romulus film in Japan, the entire dub cast of the movie gathered for a press event, and they were surprised by a 71-year-old woman, a comedian and singer named Naoko Ken, fully dressed as a xenomorph, including the most intense bit of face makeup I've ever witnessed in the business. Honestly, it's so horrifically magnificent, I can't even look away. At one point, they give her a microphone, and to see like this, I see a xenomorph like holding a microphone like a stand-up comedian is bonkers. Look, even if you were born yesterday, like you just popped out of someone's chest, it's only been 12 hours, you're a fully grown species, but you're thinking to yourself, how am I going to capture a solid web presence? Don't worry about it. We got you. Thanks to the video sponsors for today's awesome evolution, Squarespace. When I needed to create a website for all my great Disney Dan content, I was able to find an amazing template from their huge library of web designs. With Squarespace's flexible professional website templates, I was able to customize my look, update content, and add features that fit all my needs. Plus, it looks incredible across all types of devices. Check out how detailed you can get. I just changed the footer of my website from this wiggly block thing to this vibey lava lamp thing. It has excellent vibes. If you just want a vibe, just come to the bottom of my new website. And if you want to take your brand to the next level, you can also create a members area on your website that offers exclusive access to unique premium content. But it gets even better thanks to their next generation website design system, Fluid Engine. It's truly mind-blowing because it's like a drag and drop website design system that you can use on web or mobile. I can customize like every detail. You know what the Xenomorph would love? The Fluid Engine, you know, because Xenomorphs have lots of fluids. They're always dripping in a weird way, and I feel like if the Xenomorph was going to choose a website developer, they would go with Squarespace just for the fluid of it all, you know? Just aliens are juicy bits, you know? Go to squarespace.com for a free trial, and when you're ready to launch, go to squarespace.com/DisneyDan to save 10% off your first purchase of a website or domain. Well, that was fun. What was your favorite Xenomorph? There were so many weird ones. I gotta say, I learned a lot about the whole Xeno family, and I really enjoyed Alien Romulus. What a slam dunk. Can't wait to see what Disney does. Come on, Yellow Shoes. Just bring it back to Magic Kingdom. Just reopen Alien Encounter. Do it with a Xenomorph now. Let us all just live. Let us all just live. Millennials. Let the millennials live. Let me know if you rode the original version of the ride and had the chance to go face to face with an alien encounter, or if you got to encounter it on the Great Movie Ride, or where your xenomorphs were found out in the wild. Perhaps I missed a few Xenos. I would love to know. I was looking all over. I'm so fascinated by all you Xeno cosplayers are very talented, so kudos to you. I look forward to all your comments, likes, subscribes, all those things. Special thanks to channel sponsor HalloweenCostumes.com for providing me with all kinds of silly looks and giving you 15% off Halloween costumes with that coupon code down in the description. Well, thanks for watching, guys. This has been awesome. Visit me across all the holy social medias, and a big shout out to my patrons. Hey, patrons. Thank you so much. I really appreciate all your support and all my silly antics and my silly to-dos. Thank you so much, Patreon. And thank you, watchers and viewers on YouTube. As always, you rock.